So if you're a truck driver in America and want to transfer your CDL to a Bosnian equivalent of one, you can do it. I did it. I was a truck driver in America for about 3.5, 4 years, and I transferred mine very easily. But there is one thing that's a little bit complicated for when it comes to actually getting a job with a Bosnian CDL, and I'll explain that at the end of this video. Now, so this is what the back of the driver's license looks like with our cool flag. Now, everywhere that you see a date is what vehicles I'm allowed to drive. So we got a little scooter here, a car, a box truck, a long tractor and a trailer. I don't know if that's connected right there. That might be connected. And then we got a car with a trailer and a box truck with a trailer and a long, big box truck with a trailer. So B, C, and CE are, as far as semi-trucks, that's it. I got them all. That's all the semi-trucks. Things I don't have is buses. Buses, you have to get a separate bus driving license. The American CDL is recognized and accepted here in Bosnia. You can easily just transfer it over, and it's actually pretty cheap. And this might also work for other really established countries. Let's say, for example, it might work with Canada, it might work with Australia. I'm not sure, but I imagine it might. Or maybe Germany. So anyways, it's all done through CIPS, a building called CIPS, which is like the same thing as the DMV as you have in America. CIPS is where you go to get your ID or your licenses. CIPS buildings in my town was found right by the Općina, and I'm sure it's like that everywhere else. CIPS is part of the MUPA, which is basically the police. And anyways, what you gotta do is you gotta find a sudski tumac, which a sudski tumac is a court translator. So somebody who has an official judge type stamp that's certified to legally translate things. So sudski tumac. Sudski means judge, judicial. Tumac is like a translator. So I found mine literally on Google. They got them on Google. I found mine in Zensa. And what you can do is, if you got Viber, which is like a texting and calling app, type in the number you find. I mean, they got them all in every city, and it's all online. All the sudski tumaci, they're all online. It's very easy to find. Find one close to you. You message them. And I messaged mine through Viber. He asked me to take a picture of my driver's license, my USA one, and send it to him through Viber. I didn't have to go meet him first. And he said, okay, I'll let you know when it's done. And it took him a couple days. Pulled up to him, and he had it ready for me with the stamp on it. And I think it was like 20 marks. I think he charged me 20 marks for that document. Now, the other thing that you got to do is you got to go to the hospital nearby you, and you got to do a zdravstvena for a driver's license. So it's like a health checkup for your driver's license. You need that as well. Basically, all they do, it's mostly like a mental checkup. They had me do like a puzzle. They had me put like the shapes in the different slots and stuff. It was weird. They had me go like this with my hands and show my hands to them. And they ask you, they're like, they ask you a few weird questions. It's quick, but it's weird. It's like a psychological evaluation. So you do that, and you get your little zdravstvena thing, ljekarska. I forgot the exact name of it, but you can find out the exact name of it at your CIPS office. And I don't remember how much you paid. I think I paid 50 marks for that zdravstvena thing. So once you have that zdravstvena and your sudski, the prevod, which is a translation of your license, you take those two and you go to CIPS. And you tell them what you want, what you're trying to do. You know, you tell them you're trying to get a Bosnian equivalent of a driver's license, and you make sure you tell them, just say, hey, I have it for truck driving, and Basically, what they'll do is they'll translate it exactly how the Sudski Tumac translated it. They're gonna give you everything that he wrote down. They're gonna give you all the rights to drive for a Bosnian license. And so just when you get your translation from the Sudski Tumac, you gotta make sure that he did everything correct. And you might get confused because, like in America, you got like let's say 23,000 pounds. Let's say you're able to drive with 23,000 pounds or over, right? That's like your class A. I don't remember how much that exactly is. Where they put a decimal point, they actually put where they put commas in America, they actually put a decimal point in Bosnia, and they put it in a different spot. So it'll totally confuse you. It's not, the way they use decimals and commas, they don't use commas here in Bosnia. They use decimals and they put it in a different spot. I still haven't memorized how they do it, and it throws me off to this day. It freaks me out. That's like, that could be catastrophically in error. Like they do that with money, with all numbers. Just make sure you got everything right on your translation, and then you take that to the tips. And what they're going to do is they're going to ask to take your USA driver's license. They're going to take it away from you, and they're going to send it back to America, which is kind of weird. But I called the American DMV. I was like, hey, I'm getting a Bosnian driver's license. They're going to send back the USA one. Am I going to lose my CDL? They're like, no, you're not going to lose it. They said, no, you're not going to lose it. So I have like several copies of my American CDL from like every time I get an endorsement or something or renewal. So I still basically have my old CDL, and you still will have your old CDL, but you might have to get a new physical copy of it. Now, the complicated part that I was going to tell you about is there's something, so I have my CDL, the Bosnian one. All the categories, they call them, categories. The complicated part now is that you need, like, to get hired at a big company here. Now, this is actually argued online, or argued amongst drivers. They say you need something else called a državni ispit, which is a state test, where you have to have high school education for driving. Because here in high school, it's not like America. In America, you go to high school and you get math, English. No, here it's all trade schools. Every high school in Bosnia is a trade school, literally. Literally, they're all a trade school, except for one. It's called gimnazia, and gimnazia is it prepares you for college. And basically, gimnazia is not a trade. It's just like math, English, whatever. But gimnazia is designated for going to college to further your education. But so that's where it's kind of complicated, because kids here you can get a high school education to be a driver, and you need that. So basically, you have to get your high school translated over to a Bosnian one. And so I already have another video you can watch about getting your high school thing translated, your high school diploma translated to a Bosnian one. You can find it in my TikTok videos. But here's the thing. Other drivers say there's such a driver shortage here in Bosnia that they said you no longer need the državni ispit. So that's where it's kind of complicated. I went to go try to get my državni ispit, and I went through a schooling here, like a driving school here, and he asked me for all my documentation for my high school and stuff, and I did that, and then the dude just stopped talking to me. He just started ignoring me, and I messaged him once. I was like, hey, are you gonna do that still? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I sent your paperwork to the government, basically, to the Ministry of Education here, and he just said he's just waiting. But that was like 8 months ago, and so like, since I found other ways of making money, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not in a rush to get that done because it costs like 2,000 marks anyway. So I'm like, I might not even need that. So anyways, yeah, you might need that državni ispit, you might not. Certain companies might want you to have it. So yeah, that's basically how it all goes. So hopefully that helps you guys. Yeah, it's not really a problem to get a Bosnian CDL equivalent. Take care. Stay safe out there.